welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Guys, we are retired New York City police detectives with 20 plus years of law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you will get all things DutyRon and this guy right over here, Ed Wallace, when we go live or upload another video. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the volunteer searchers in the different various cases that we listed in the title here. Cassie Carli, Gabby Petito, Naomi Irion case. We are going to talk about the impact that the volunteers and searchers have had on the families. Ed, how you doing tonight? And where are you? Are you in an undisclosed location again, or are you?
No, not undisclosed. We told the audience last week. I'm in Boston.
Yeah, but there might be some people joining that don't remember what we told them last week. Heck, I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning.
Oh, well, that's okay. I get you. Yes, I'm in Boston, folks. I'm on assignment, working for Louisiana State University in the Department of Homeland Security.
Impressive, Ed. Ed's a teacher, and you guys know that he's going around the United States and he's teaching our police force about weapons of mass destruction and evidence collection and things of that nature. Listen, today we have a bunch of really great guests. We have Rocky Pastarino. We have Casey Valley. That's Naomi's brother. We have Dave and Twila from EquuSearch Midwest. Cassie Carli's sister is going to be joining us in a little bit. And we also have Gabby Petito's mom, Nicole Schmidt. She's waiting in the green room to come on. But yeah, I mean, these are families that have been through. Ed and I have covered the cases, the Gabby Petito case. We covered that extensively, Cassie Carli, Naomi, and we do them with respect and dignity for the families. We respect the crime victims, their families, and everything that they're going through. And you guys, the viewers, I can't say enough great about you, because not only have you come through with donations for families, not only have you come through with kind words and support. I mean, you guys are blowing us away. Ed, we speak about this all the time. We have arguably the greatest true crime community on YouTube.
Without a doubt, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And they're so attuned to what we're doing and so supportive of what we're doing. They're supportive of our victims and our victims' families and the survivors of these horrific cases that we profile here. And you can't ask for a better audience. You know, when we raised money for EquuSearch, they were there and gave from their heart. It was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, the outpouring of support and love that we see from the folks here in our community is just beyond. I mean, Dave, Rader, Twila, Cisco, they also, again, when we did that fundraiser for them in February, it was just, I blew it out of the park. It was just amazing how everybody came out. But what we want to talk about and highlight is the volunteers, the people who voluntarily come out to search for missing folks. These are people who they don't know. They come out, they say, hey, what do you need from me? What do you need us to do? And these are men, women, young teenagers. I've seen searchers come out and families come out with their whole entire family. They use their ATVs, horseback, drones. We saw in Cassie Carli's case, boats. In Gabby Petito, they were in the Tetons on horseback. So, you know, there's just so much good that are out there, and people that don't expect a paycheck to do it either. So that's the great thing. Quickly, I just want to introduce our guest before we show this little piece. You know what? I'm going to show the piece. This is the Naomi search, and this is her dad. Casey's on here, and I believe his sister, and also, and I'm not sure if the mom, but let's just show this little piece, and then we'll introduce everybody. I'm gonna put this on the screen and have us. It's just like 2 minutes. So I want to show this. This is the search. I believe it was day 6. So let's get this on and play it.
the whole world, I would go and get her. Do whatever. I would, with my eyes, the whole Superman, if I could, scan with my eyes the whole world. I would go and get her. Do whatever, even if I have to lose my life, as long as she's in good health. Yes.
The father's emotional plea as he and his family join Lyon County Sheriff's search and rescue team to find his daughter.
I was just hoping to not slip through the cracks when this started. And that was my number one goal. I don't know what to say about what I'm seeing right now. I've never seen anything like this.
Naomi's brother is referring to the masses of people who met up at the Flying J on Saturday to help search for his sister. He even took a moment to speak to the crowd.
Thank you for all the love and support you guys are giving us.
The 18-year-old was last seen on March 12th outside a Walmart parking lot. Hundreds of people gathered, including this group of people who brought their own personal ATVs to help find Naomi. People on ATVs, horses, and on foot spent the afternoon scouring a 10-square-mile area, searching for anything that can bring Naomi home.
I had the equipment, saw something, community need. I have time and experience in the desert, and I know the neighborhoods.
Volunteers were instructed to keep their eyes peeled for any kind of unusual items or disturbances in the desert, never having met Naomi, but still answering the call for help.
I'm a mom. I wouldn't know how to feel or what to think to do this.
I want to say the line of people behind her, I think that is a line of people that are waiting to sign up to search.
I mean, I would start crying now if it was my child. It's anybody's. It's just hard to imagine what they're going through.
Over 450 people searched for hours Saturday, with no plans on stopping until Naomi's found.
I just really need everyone to keep an eye out for my sister.
In Fernley, I'm Crystal Garcia.
So there you have it. That video sums it up in a nutshell. 400 plus people. Ed, what's your thoughts on that?
It's just amazing. I love the outpouring of support for the family. I love the volunteerism. We as Americans are so good-hearted. We're the first in and the last out, and we constantly give more than any other country in the world to disasters and things of this nature. And it just goes to show you who we are and what we're about. And I love it. I love it. We get a bad rap as Americans, and a lot of people put us down. But when push comes to shove, we're there.
Yeah. Without further ado, Ed, and amen to that, brother. I couldn't have said that any better. Thank you, Miss Tammy, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Without further ado, I want to introduce Rocky Pastarino and Naomi's brother, Casey Valley. I don't know. Was that you, Ed?
Yeah, sorry. I silenced it.
You had your trumpets playing. Casey Valley and Rocky Pastarino in Fernley, Nevada. Guys, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
How are you guys doing?
Good. We're doing good. Casey, again, on behalf of the Crime Time with DutyRon family, we send our sincere condolences to you and your family. We nothing but support and love coming from New York and across the world here in the YouTube community. So, Casey, we send strength, prayers, and positive vibes to you and everybody in Fernley.
Thank you, guys.
Watching this video, I know it's old, media, and you might not have watched that, recently. What was what's kind of some of the thoughts that go through your mind when you see that and you see the outpouring of, volunteering for searching for your sister from your community?
Well, I mean, it was, I just can't describe how thankful I am to everybody that came and everybody, sacrificing their time and coming out with their own equipment and, being patient and willing to follow instructions and everything like that. It was really, it was fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that for a public search anywhere. So, and we got a lot done. You know, we eliminated 10 square miles that day and 10 square miles the next weekend too. So
that's fantastic. And to put that many people together, it takes quite a bit of planning. And, you know, Rocky, I'd like to say to you, you know, I know that you didn't know Casey and the family prior to this, and you were one of the people who came out there, and now you guys are like brothers. We heard your mom say at the memorial service that Rocky's like another son to her, right? So you had a high impact. You made a big impact on the family. Rocky, what was your thoughts on what you saw there and the volunteering? And, you know,
it was overwhelming, to say the least. I mean, I don't have any other words to describe that.
Yeah,
I never anticipated that many people to show up, and you know, we had 450 or 500 people on the sign-in sheet, and I bet there was another 150 or so that didn't sign in that thought they could be a part of it too. So it was pretty amazing.
You know, it brings me to the next point, Ed. You know, we have EquuSearch. We have a group like EquuSearch. You know, we're part of it, law enforcement liaisons. We watch what they do for numerous families across the United States and outside of the United States, for that matter. So standing by is Dave Rader and Twila Cisco. They're the search coordinator and the director of Midwest EquuSearch. I want to bring them in and get their thoughts on this. And then we have Nicole Schmidt standing by. I'm going to add her in as well in a few seconds after I get Dave and Twila in here. Hi, guys. How are you?
Great. How are y'all?
Hi, Ed.
Hey, guys.
Casey. Good to see you.
How you doing?
That shirt looks great on you, Rocky. I'm glad that it fits.
It fits perfect. Thank you guys so much.
So that's EquuSearch Midwest t-shirt sent courtesy of Dave Rader. Let me go full screen so everybody could see that. Rocky is sporting the EquuSearch Midwest chapter. I know he's got maybe a hat and some wristbands. And
there you go.
Yep.
Boss is not alone.
Excellent.
DutyRon.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Dave, what's your thoughts on seeing that media clip that I played with the search and rescue and folks coming out in Fernley, Nevada for Naomi? You've been around this business a long time. Your thoughts on that?
You know, again, it's amazing of what when the community it's one of their own, and when they have a chance to step up and do something to contribute to help finding somebody, it's amazing of what people will drop and do to bring this individual home. So, you know, and there was two things in that clip. Well, one thing actually that stuck out rather. It was just a great point that I thought of, was that these are the people, when you go into an area, like say when we travel and if we go into an area, we really don't know the area until we get in and drive and everything. These people actually know this like the back of their hands. These are the kind of people that you want, because they can tell you where the nooks and the crannies are and how to get to a point and what's the hiding places in some things. So you're relying on this kind of information when you hit the ground. We're just basically the ones who bring everybody together and control the chaos. But it's the people that you bring into that from the community that actually does the backbreaking work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know you got some questions for Dave, and we got some for Twila in regards to that, because she's a search coordinator. I mean, these kind of situations where we have people that are missing and have a community come out like that in those higher numbers in an organized fashion. And then, you know, I know Rocky told me that some of it was disorganized, but you're going to get that no matter what. Ed, you've been around so many searches and crime scenes where we have hundreds of members of the service from the NYPD, level 1s, level 2s, level 3 mobilizations called. Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Ed, about the confusion and chaos and how important it is for a leader to take charge? And then I'm going to ask Rocky and Casey about who took charge.
Absolutely. You know, I go back to the World Trade Center because, you know, I never thought in my wildest imagination, with over 42,000 cops at the time of the World Trade Center attack, that we would have to enact mutual aid agreements and have outside law enforcement agencies come in and assist us with patrolling the streets of New York while we were busy running down there. And then you had all manner of volunteers that came to New York to help at the World Trade Center site with the searching. And you had fire agencies, self-dispatch, groups that were not asked by the NYPD to come to New York, but they came. They came with their equipment. They came with their dogs. They came with all their assets. And so this is a great undertaking, and it requires a lot of emergency management. These people would have to be credentials, their IDs, they would have to be vetted. Okay, because you just can't let anybody into these things, and so they would have to be vetted. They would have to have their emergency responder association and agency verify that they are in fact employees of these groups, and then they would get credentialed, and then they would be assigned to a supervisor. And we have to use all the incident command systems and span of control and right. Set up strike teams and so forth, and then give assignments to people. Okay, and you grid off the 16-acre site, and we can give assignments to people. Okay, this is your sector. You're going to search this, so forth and so on. And you have to provide security. You have to keep the people that are looking to get in there and not really help, but get a news story or do something else unethical while people are trying to do the right thing and search for it. So you have to control that. Then you have to feed them, and then you have to house them, and then you have to get them facilities to use to go to the bathroom and shower and to decontaminate themselves, and you have to give them equipment and for personal protective measures and so forth. It's a great undertaking.
Yeah. And guys, quickly, I mean, sometimes you don't even have time to get that organized when you're in the middle of like the desert. It looked like that was a desert surrounding. When we looked at Cassie Carli, they were in the middle of a beach area, very, not remote, but, beach, hot weather. You worry about people getting, heat stroke or dehydrated and things of that nature. Who was there providing food, drink? Was it the local businesses, Casey, or what was going on there?
Yeah, a lot of the local businesses stepped up, and there was some other people across the states that somebody bought like 500 cases of water for us to pick up.
Wow.
And there was a bunch of local businesses that went through and donated like coolers and food and snacks and all kinds of stuff. And and the way we did it was a pretty seat of the pants operation. So
fly by the seat of your pants, in other words.
Yeah, the first one was coordinated by Lyon County Search and Rescue. It probably took us like 2.5 hours, at least 2.5, 3 hours to get everybody dispatched, actually. Wow. But the second search we did, which wasn't coordinated by Lyon County Lyon County Search and Rescue in an official capacity, that one we were able to, because we had some more, like a lot of very serious volunteers the second time around,
right?
And we were able to get everybody out in about 90 minutes.
Wow. That's a pretty quick turnout.
Yeah, thanks to the experience we had the first time around, and then the volunteers that we had helping us out, and we at least documented who everybody was, but we couldn't really document too much more beyond that with what we were doing. But
understood.
And we had a safety brief first thing and everything like that.
Right. Radios, communications, things of that nature, team leaders, people who are going out certain sectors and things of that nature, like what Ed just spoke about.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Hey, quickly, I just want, because we have limited time with the ladies here. Rae is here, Cassie Carli's sister. So I want to introduce her real quick and get her onto the stream. She's a mom. She's a sister. She's a sister to a brother. She's got a fiance, and she's juggling a lot of things. So let's add Rae onto the stream, Cassie Carli's sister. Rae, thank you for taking the time and hanging out with us.
No, thank you guys. Thank all of you, your community, and hey Ed, everyone.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, and the volunteers, I know there's some of you watching as well. They were just speaking about that. I can't thank people enough for their time and energy and just everything into my sister's story. It's amazing. And seeing some behind the scenes with you guys, I'm still so humbled by everything. You guys have been awesome, man.
Right. And Ray, I don't know if you had a chance, but that's Naomi's brother there, Casey. So Casey, Ray.
Casey.
Yeah, he's up in the corner there with Rocky, and he was just talking about the search for his sister. And, you know, the cases between your sister and his sister were going on kind of almost back to back. So, you know, the thing that happened in the West Coast in Fernley, Nevada, pretty much happened in Navarre with you guys on the Panhandle on the West Coast of Florida. So that's the amazing part. But listen, without further ado, I have a little surprise for you, and I told you that I have maybe a surprise for you, and I want to introduce our next guest because she put herself out there and said, "Hey, Ron, I want to come on your show." And without further ado, Nicole Schmidt, Gabby Petito's mom.
Hi.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
So, Ray, I want to tell you, Nicole, this was all of her idea to come on.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna remove a couple of people so this way it's a little bit more personable. Let's make it so we have like not the whole Hollywood square. Nicole, thank you so much. I mean, your daughter's story touched the hearts of the world, not just the United States. And Cassie's story and Naomi's as well touched the world thanks to the internet. You were watching some of the stuff that I just put on there with the searching and things of that nature. The same kind of situation your husband saw happen in the Tetons. Any thoughts on that, Nicole?
It's just amazing what people do for total strangers and take their time out and put all their efforts into it. And those are the real heroes there, those boots on the ground people that are out there doing this, sweating and not sleeping, and they keep searching. It's amazing. And then there's the behind the scenes people, like he said, they donated cases of water. I mean, that's amazing that people step up and do those things. The logistics of it is just incredible, and it comes together.
Yeah. When you see complete strangers coming together for your family, it's got to be overwhelming and humbling for folks like yourself. You know, Casey, Rae, and Nichole. I mean, you were back home in Long Island while Jimmy was in Wyoming trying to find your daughter. And then for him to report back to you, hey, he said it to me, we had great people there, and they were all volunteers.
Yep.
So
it's crazy. They're real heroes. They're like the real life heroes. That's what they do. And it's incredible. And I'm so grateful for all these search teams out there. And EquuSearch, I know you guys, they reached out right away. They were the first ones. They're amazing.
Yeah. So I added them back. I just wanted to make it a little personal. Rae, can you talk a little bit about the story of can you talk about how the two of you and Nichole got together?
Yes. Someone reached out to me and they said, Nichole would like to speak with you. And I was, no matter what was going on, I was so excited to speak to someone that had been in a similar situation very recently, just like a kindred spirit. And it really was amidst all the chaos and still searching for my sister up until now. Recently, she's been there. And it's so nice to have someone for advice, whether it's, the media stuff or even just the legal process or anything. It's really comforting to have someone that, a lot of people step up and say, I know what you're feeling. I know. And I hurt for those people as well. But Nichole was such a nice kindred spirit. Like I said, I can't thank you enough, Nichole. It's nice to put a face to the texts and the phone calls.
I wish I could get out there and help everyone. I would do it if I could. So it's just the least I could do is at least talk to you and get you through the hard time.
Yes, thank you so much. And EquuSearch, I didn't get the chance to speak with you, but you were the first person. Nicole was like, they're great. And I was like, okay, I'm getting honest. The day we were ready to call you and sign and everything, we were able to find Cassie and bring her home. So thank you, EquuSearch.
We're here now. What you didn't know, Rae, was that I already had things in the works behind the scenes.
I thought so. I was letting Sam and them deal with the search party stuff. So
yeah,
he called me and he was like, "This is what we got," and I'm like, "Okay,
all right."
Yeah,
we will continue to be here for you.
That's girl power at its best right there. Twila is search coordinator. Dave called her. This is how it kind of went. I wanted the audience to know, but first before we go forward, I want to just say thank you to Nothing But Love. She sent a $200 super chat, and she says, "Casey and Rocky, thank you for being here and sharing at such a very difficult time. May God bless you and your family, Casey. Please find this as a gift of love and support from this community. I think of all of you daily, especially your mother. Casey, wow. Healing vibes your way." So I'll take care of that at the completion of the show, and that's coming straight from one of my supporters from Crime Time with DutyRon for you and your family. So thank you, Nothing But Love. Appreciate that.
People are amazing. They are truly amazing.
Hey, quickly, I wanted to ask you, Nichole. I got to go full screen with you because there's a beautiful portrait of your daughter in the background there. I know who drew that, but can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
That's the famous Tess Parker. She painted that for me, and when she handed it to me, I was just blown away. I couldn't believe what a nice gift she had for me. It's just beautiful. I'll cherish it forever. I thought I'd put it in the background for you guys.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
it's beautiful. She looks just like you. I mean, that looks just like you sitting there in that picture. Identical.
Just so you know, I kind of knew about that was going on, and I had to just bite my tongue and not say anything to you, but I knew she was working on that for you. So I think Tess is, she was here on this channel with us, and I got to see her at the Gabby Petito Foundation fundraiser. It was great to see her and hug her. It was great to see you, Nichole, and give you a great big hug. I got the picture with me and you together, and I posted that on social media. Anytime that we can support all victims and their families, we're here for all of you guys, Rae, Casey, Nichole, and anybody and everybody that's out there. I mean, we have countless families and victims that we've supported along the way. And I'm honored to have you guys all here and entrust this community to come on. This is a safe place. But Cassie, Rae, while we have you, I want to talk about your sister a little bit. The search that was coordinated down in Florida. Talk a little bit to the audience about how that went down, and you were there for all of it, right? You came into Florida to be there to search for your sister. Can you tell the audience a little bit, because Casey already gave us a little bit of a background on his sister. Just let everybody know how that went down.
Yeah. Fortunately, my sister, she already had a close friend who had some law enforcement experience. So Sam Graves, she organized it, as well as General Greg. I still call him General Greg, but Greg Cole. They were amazing, and they were able to establish, the headquarters and send out the search parties, and like they did, separate them. We tried to, same as Casey, keep track, a list of everyone by name who was participating, keep an eye on things, and separate it into groups. And they also worked with law enforcement to kind of get a better idea, make sure we're going in the right direction and whatnot. And then we were just amazed by how many people just took off from work even, and down to the little things they donated. Someone donated a box of portable chargers, which was amazing. So the volunteers could have their phones, charged while they're searching all day long. And we did the briefings as well in the morning and the safety meetings at night to go back over things. And I'm truly grateful for everyone that came out and all the coverage and even just the social media talk. It really did keep my sister's story going and make a difference in the timely manner we were able to bring her home. I know some other people, such as Nichole and whatnot, I can't imagine it going on for so long. So I'm very grateful for everyone and their search efforts that we were able to get her home within a week. So that is awesome.
You know, I saw one of the local McDonald's even came down and gave it looked like food at the location on like at the beach. It looked like.
Yes.
So that to me was just unbelievable. I have a small clip that I want to play. Again, I picked out some of the more lighter coverage, but I wanted to show some of the searching that went on in your sister's case. So I'm going to play just a quick clip. I think it was from day 5. And I'm going to show, because it was a group of folks that came out with a boat, I believe, and they put a boat in the water. So I want to show them because these people were just amazing. So I'm just a little bit challenged when it comes to technology. This old man here, I try to do the best I can. So I'm going to share it quickly on the screen. Where is it? Okay, there it is. I found it. All right, so we're going to play this real quick. I'll go full screen with it, and then we'll come back on and we'll talk a little bit about this.
Good evening, Bob, Sue. Cassie's now been missing for 5 days. Some of the volunteers that you see out here behind me tonight, they've been here for 4 of them. Escambia Search and Rescue, a fully volunteer organization, joined those efforts today. They put a boat out here in the Santa Rosa Sound, but told me this afternoon they didn't find anything. Cassie's family hopes that EquuSearch in their efforts today is just get another tool in their efforts to find Cassie and bring her home.
The only reason we're here is because we want to help.
Escambia Search and Rescue volunteers joined the search for Cassie Carli Friday. Assistant Director Gabby Petito tells me family asked for their help, not the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
The more help you have, the better off you are. It just needs to be organized.
Their sonar equipment allows them to spot suspicious objects in the water all around the boat. Cassie was last seen in this parking lot Sunday. But according to Cassie's family, it's possible she left the area in her ex's car.
Even if you have a good last known position, if the person gets in a car, that cuts off the scent trail and you don't know where to go. If they got in a car right here, right now and drove off, that's where the dog stopped.
Petito says that's where law enforcement tactics come in. Thursday, the sheriff's office revealed Cassie left her purse in her car and that detectives aren't aware of any phone or credit card activity since.
We're going to go help bring her home wherever she may be.
Cassie's sister, Raeann, also joined in the search efforts Friday. This week, Raeann says she's messaged Gabby Petito's mom, Nichole. Investigators found the 22-year-old's body in Wyoming 8 days after family in Florida reported her missing.
It's so nice to have that comfort and someone who's been there.
On day 5 of her disappearance, their family and these volunteers remain dedicated to bringing Cassie home.
We know we have all bases covered. We are not going to let any area go without being searched.
So that was great. I mean, just amazing. Okay. What do we got going on here? All right, we got you back. Yeah, my computer froze up. Yeah, so you mentioned in there that it was great to have Nichole, there with you along the way, someone who has been through it. Just, again, speak a bit about how important that was to try to kind of guide you. I mean, Nichole texted me and she said, hey, can you reach out to EquuSearch? Can you highlight the story? JB got on with you and things of that nature. That's how we help each other. And this is what it's about. We're now a family. Talk a little bit about how that went down.
Yes, even like she was just recommending the best search parties and organizations or such as EquuSearch or any, there's so many. Like I said, we're very grateful. There's numerous canine teams and resources and all of that. So I just wanted to go through the proper steps and not miss anyone that was offering their help as well. That gentleman with the boat, for example, contacted us. And it was nice to also know who possibly maybe not be able to help. You know, it was just something so difficult to navigate. You don't know where to start. And you want to trust and put all your faith into law enforcement, but you want to make sure you're using your best judgment as well too. So
Yeah. And Casey, I see you shaking your head on that one. You know, again, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to be an advocate for your family. And we saw Casey. He went to the Walmart and grabbed the video of his sister being abducted. That's what loving family does. You know, we can't always rely on law enforcement to do everything for us. You know, like they say, where's a cop when you need him? You know, or when someone's home is getting broken into, you know, you get into that whole thing. But you took the charge. You know, Gabby's mom here, Nichole, her husband's a volunteer for a lifelong, you know, fire department. He's in the field. He's in the business. They got friends. Casey, you jumped into action. Any thoughts on what Rae just said, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, nobody loves your family member more than you do. So you have to.
Amen.
When law enforcement, I mean, law enforcement is great, but they don't always have their priorities in line with yours. So you have to take initiative, and if you love your family member, that's exactly what you're going to do to the best of your ability.
Right.
And that was all I could do, and that's what I did, because I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. So.
Yeah, it's funny when people ask you, like, how do you do it? How did you do this? It's like, you just do it. Like,
How do you
what
not
else would
do
you
it
do?
is a better question to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say it again, Casey.
How do you not do it is a better question to me.
Yeah, it's funny because there are people that are missing their children right now, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
And that behavior is not normal. Your behaviors are normal. Okay. Yeah. This is what loved ones do for each other. Okay. You don't sit back and just say, oh, I'll just let the police handle this. You get out and you do it yourself as much as you can. Okay. And then you'll learn along the way. You learn. You make mistakes, yes, but you learn and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. You never stop.
You don't sleep, you don't eat, but you do it. You just do it.
Yeah, and when you tell people your situation, like when I went to the Walmart, they didn't have to show me anything.
Right.
But they did, because I told them, hey, my sister's missing, and I think she came here. That was her normal routine. Can we just verify whether or not she came here? And that ended up with me in the security office with the security team there, and then we found the right video, and then when we saw the incident occur, it's like, you know, Casey, now we have something to act on, and now this becomes a law enforcement thing, right? So
but you essentially asked pretty much a complete stranger inside that Walmart to help you. And
oh yeah, I followed around the plainclothes security guy until he paid attention to me. I worked at Target when I was a teenager, so I know what they look like.
Okay,
there you go. Hey Dave, I wanted to ask you quickly. That search and rescue team down in Florida. Did you or Twila know those folks, or ever heard of them?
I've heard of Escambia County, absolutely. Yeah, they're very resourceful down in the Panhandle area. Pensacola, just in that panhandle, and I think that I've used actually even part of them up in Alabama. That they've actually traveled a little bit north out of there, out of the panhandle of Florida for us. So yeah, I've absolutely heard of Escambia County.
Dave, I wanted to ask you quickly, how many searches would you estimate EquuSearch does in a matter of a calendar year, say January to January?
Oh,
I mean,
I got 3 handed to me today, or 4. I can't even remember. Between myself and Twila, the phone never stopped. So it's constantly in motion. I would have to say probably upwards to 100.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, right before we went on this show, I had a grandfather of a missing person on the phone, bawling his eyes out with me. And I was like, I told Dave, and I was like, today has been, well, I told you too, DutyRon, today has been crazy busy today. And to you three family members here, you guys need to pat yourself on the back, because y'all are stronger than you can even possibly imagine, to be able to have to do that for your own blood. And we're just strangers to you guys, and it's hard for us. So I can't imagine the pain that y'all went through. So I'm sending y'all great big huge hugs, because y'all deserve it. Y'all are the heroes here. Y'all are the heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Twila. Yeah, you know, searching for the missing takes its toll on a group like EquuSearch and anybody. You know the families that are here, they know, they've gone through it. It's just an emotional roller coaster that you hope and you don't wish on your worst enemy. So, having you guys here doing this day in and day out, that's why I don't even second guess it. When you and I got together, Dave and Twila, I said, I got to get behind these people, because they are doing God's work and they're helping families that they don't even know across the United States. So kudos to what you guys do. Again, I can't say enough good about EquuSearch. All of the chapters, the Texas guy, Tim Miller is unbelievable. Dave, the story that you told about you and Tim getting together is just fascinating. And it was on the case down in Florida, right? Casey Anthony.
It was Kaylee Anthony that was my very first one.
Right.
That's what got me started in this. So.
And we don't stop. We won't stop. Once we're involved in something, we don't stop. And even when we're not involved, we still go out there and try to do what we can do to help. There's so much behind the scenes stuff that we do with cases that doesn't get news and stuff like that. And we don't stop, and we're not going to give up, period, no matter what.
Yeah, on all three of your guys' cases, I mean, we were working behind the scenes, whether you guys realized it or not. And Rae, I can tell you for a fact that I had already started, when I first heard of Casey's story, I immediately thought that your sister probably wasn't in Florida. And I started working into Alabama. And I actually started calling in resources as far as who I had contact with on an Aya Blanchard case. And I had them kind of like on standby.
I actually reached out, to the FBI in Alabama also. We had it all lined up. Absolutely.
You guys were reading my mind.
Rae, what did you say to me when we spoke on the phone briefly at the airport? You said, she's not in Florida. I know where she is.
That's the first thing I said. She's in Alabama. It's that sibling connection. It's crazy.
That's what Dave said it, and he had it all fixed up. We were headed to Alabama, buddy. We were right away.
Road trip. Oh boy. Yeah. Hey, quickly, I wanted to go to Rocky Pastarino, because Rocky, again, jumped into this whole search thing, full tilt. He went, full speed ahead. Rocky, can you just tell the audience, because everyone loves you, respects you, and loves what you did for Casey and his family, how did you get wind of this? How did this start, and where are you at right now?
Wow. So this all started with a Facebook post, and I got so much backlash for it that it was ridiculous. And I said, I'm going to do this with or without your support. And I left work one day early, and post was about finding his sister.
He posted about a public search.
Say that again, Casey.
He posted about public search, right?
No, I was going to do it myself.
Yeah, okay.
And I figured if anybody wanted to join, they were more than welcome. Well, nobody wanted to go with me, and I was going to do it regardless. So the next day, Casey and the sheriff put on a press conference, and one thing led to another. And before you know it, I had met Casey and his family, and I talked to the undersheriff and got to go ahead to do the community search, and it just blew up from there. Hundreds and hundreds of hours went into it in a matter of just a couple weeks. I mean, I was setting this stuff up while I was working.
Amazing. Amazing. I know the audience wanted to hear that story. I knew of that story, but it's just amazing to hear it from you. I want to say thank you to some of the contributors. Pat's Cat says, my grandfather went missing. My grandpa went missing for 15 minutes. We started searching. Amen to that. Amen to that. You know, I told a story how I lost my son at Citi Field. My wife, they're now 26 and 29, but when my youngest was, I think about 8, I took him to Citi Field with the Little League, and she was like, don't lose Frankie. And we were behind home plate before the game, and all the players were there, and they were signing autographs. We had like on-field stuff. I lost him. I couldn't find him. But he followed David Wright into the dugout and he was on his lap getting a signed baseball. But those 30 seconds or a minute were the most agonizing because A, I knew my wife was going to beat the shit out of me. B, I just freaked out as my son. I lost sight of him. I didn't know where he was. And those were the most horrifying 30 seconds to a minute of my fatherhood, you know. So I can't imagine what 3 of your families have gone through. And that's why for me, a lifelong of community service and being a public servant, I said, what better thing for me to do than get onto YouTube and try to educate folks on criminal justice, how the process goes, and how to help other people and how to continue to help people. So I'll do this until I can't do it anymore. Pat's Cats sends in a $20 super sticker. Thank you for your support. And Vet Girl RWB sends in $50 and says, please know you have the heart of YouTube and the nation behind you. Bless you and all your families. That's for everybody here on the panel. So thank you, Vet Girl, for that beautiful, beautiful message. Ed, you got anything additional that maybe you want to put in? You're all about forensics and evidence collection. You worked in New York City Police Department crime scene unit. What's some of and I don't like to turn anything into negative here, but when you have people who are amateurs that are going out there and searching for somebody, what's some of the stumbling blocks that could be that could hinder an investigation?
Improperly handling or touching evidence. Now, folks, there's a principle that I like to teach everybody that are doing searches. It's called RAIN. Recognize, avoid, isolate, and notify. Okay, recognize something as a potential evidence. Avoid disturbing that evidence. Isolate that evidence from yourself and others in your party, and then notify the law enforcement agency that's trained to deal with it to come out and deal with it. Don't touch it. Don't alter it. Don't move it. Don't photograph it. Don't do anything to it. Just contact the authorities. Go through your chain of command of whoever's organizing the search. Go through your chain of command. Get the law enforcement agency out there to deal with what you found. Okay. Don't try to take matters into your own hands. Okay. These are criminal cases. This is evidence. We want to get the perpetrator of these crimes. We want to hold them responsible for their heinous acts. So, you may have, your heart might be in the right place, but if that's not your job, don't do it.
I wanted to have you, say that, and I knew exactly what you were going to say for a good reason, is because we want to help people. So if you go out there and you want to help somebody and you have good intentions, but if you get ahead of yourself and your emotions get the better of you and you touch some kind of evidence or something like that, it could be the difference between a successful prosecution and not. And we see that in the Suzanne Morphew case.
Yeah, trained law enforcement agency did things that made my hair curl.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be doing a show with the news reporter Lauren Scharf at 9:30 tonight to talk about Barry Morphew. He was arrested and standing being tried for murder of his wife. And based on a lot of different things that happened, he's now a free man. But he's not going to 100% get away with it, I feel. And we'll see what happens going forward. But that's how important evidence collection is, and not tainting the evidence that's collected.
Can I add, Ron?
Yes.
Some people are very self-serving as well. Yeah, you don't want to go out there and make a TikTok video because you think you found some evidence. So be be careful out there. There's people that are just in it for their own reason.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot.
Nicole, I mean, I thank you for saying it, because that was gonna be the next thing that I said. There's
Gotta be said.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's folks that want to try to get their 2 seconds of fame on the backs of people who have been either murdered or missing at that particular time. And those are some of the most evil people, because what they do is re-victimize you guys as family members.
Absolutely.
And that's why Ed and I say all the time that there's real people behind these stories that you talk about. And when you go on social media, it's important that you keep the victims and their families at the forefront, not you. And that's what we try to teach here on Crime Time with DutyRon.
If I may, Ron.
Yes.
Oh, Dave, go ahead.
No, the only thing I was going to add to that is it always seems to happen on high-profile cases all the time. It's like, well, somebody will sit there and say, well, I was part of this high-profile case, or I was part of that high-profile cases. It's amazing just to boost their own. They have their own agenda, you might say.
And I can't tell you guys how much of that I saw.
It's not right at all, because it's not about us that's out there searching. It's not. It's about these families that are missing their loved ones. And I agree with Nicole 1,000%. Getting out there making these videos, if people could only see that it makes them look ridiculous and how bad that it could hurt the case and how bad it hurts these families that truly do care about their missing loved ones, it's ridiculous. It's wrong on all levels. And then the ones that want to insert themselves in these high profile cases, it's terrible. It's demons. That's what it is. I'm sorry for whoever may get offended, but that's what it is. It's demons that's hurting these innocent families.
Sorry, go ahead, Ed.
No, please.
I had a YouTuber message me too, and he asked me if I would actually live stream our first search. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's no way. I mean, everybody knows what they wanted to do that for, and there was just no.
Yeah.
Yes, but you see,
like if I could have
there's
reached
also
through the screen and wring his neck right there, I would have.
but you see, there's also the good side. There's those 450 people that came out, Rocky, to help.
Right.
There's the people that came out for each of your families to help. Now, and I say to them, volunteerism isn't dead. Okay, if you have the time and the effort, and these families here that we're presenting on this panel motivate you from their loss to do something good. If you want to volunteer, there are plenty of organizations like Dave and Twila's organizations. There's the Red Cross. There are tons of organizations, especially if you're retired now and you're not doing much and you want to volunteer. These types of organizations could use good people. CERT, if you have a CERT team in your community, if you have a local search and rescue team, go out and volunteer, get training, join up, be a part of something good. And you know, I can't tell you how fulfilling it is to do this type of work.
It's a true volunteer, doesn't want any recognition. They don't want anything in return. They just do it because they want to help.
Right. Yeah. They're just there to be there to help these families. They're behind the scenes, not in front of a camera.
Absolutely.
I followed Casey over that quite a bit.
Okay.
And to follow up with what Rocky said with these YouTubers, I'll put it out there now because I know they're watching, but we get contacted and, you know, this message is for Dave and this, that, and the other. I'm with such and such YouTube. I'll put it out there now and y'all can spread the word. We do not go on YouTube with any other platform whatsoever except for DutyRon, and he is a part of our team, and you know he plays a very, very high role up with our team. So please and if they're watching, EquuSearch does not and will not go on any other YouTube channel to discuss any of these innocent families missing loved ones, and DutyRon is the only one that we will participate with on YouTube. And this man, he is our angel. He has never once asked me and Dave, hey, could you go out and do me some videos? Hey, could you give me this information? Could you give me that? So we would also like to follow up with what Rocky says. There's people that email us with can you come on our channel? Absolutely not. We're not going to do it. So please don't email and ask us, because we're not going to do it. It's not about you. It's about these families and their missing loved ones, period.
End of story.
It's two sides of it. I mean, it's a good side where it gets your loved ones out there, it gets the story told, but then there's going to be a bad side. But if you focus on the good and the good people, everything ends up working out in the end.
See, but you've all taken tragedy and you turned it into something good with your foundations now to help others, to educate others, and hopefully to be the advocates for your victims of crime, that you are now their voices, and so you speak for them, and you're out there telling the world, okay, let's do this, let's don't do this, and so forth and so on. And how can I help you? What do you need? The foundations that you all are setting up are going to do good things, good work. All right, and congratulations, Nichole, on getting your 501c, I believe. Okay.
Yes, we are official.
Okay, that's great.
Is there something that I can ask? And I don't, and when the time comes right, and Ed, you just touched on it as far as being a liaison. What I would love to see is that if we're working with a family and they have nowhere else to turn to talk to somebody, I would love to sit there and at the right time, as Nichole, I would love to sit there and maybe share your number to where you can speak with some of these families and Rae and Casey, when the time is right. I think that would be very important that you take this tragedy and you help another family and help another family and help another family.
Yes.
And I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'm just asking, but
I'm always open.
I'm on board.
Always open. Yep.
We did that with some other families, and let me tell you something. It literally changed them, and it lifted them up so high, and they couldn't have been any more grateful to have those two families come together that have something so tragic in common. And I think you two ladies, beautiful ladies, would be great at that when the time is right for you guys.
Yeah. I would love to. Yes, please. You can get my info from Ron or even Nichole. I can't even put into words how much Nichole means to me. And this is like our first time meeting, technically.
We could sit down and maybe do a conference call or something behind the scenes and just kind of chit chat and throw some ideas out there. And I didn't mean to sit there and throw you guys under the bus with that, but I just see what kind of passion that you have, and just like Ed said, and I had talked to Casey before in the green room before we all went on, each one of you have a story, and you have to now be your loved one's voice. You have to speak to that individual, and that's what family does.
Yeah. I want to say something here too. And, Nichole and I have been speaking quite a bit, over the last several months. And I could say this hands down. I know for a fact that she's helped numerous other families. And it's not just Rae is not the first one, because Nichole's reached out to me on other missing people, and I've highlighted their cases and spoken about them, used my YouTube channel to speak about the cases. So I know for a fact that Nichole is doing that. She's definitely doing that behind the scenes, and I tip my cap to her, because I don't know if I would be able to do that if I went through the same thing, but I know that we find this inner strength, and it's all in the name of our loved one, that her daughter. We're speaking about Gabby Petito. I'm proudly wearing, Nichole busts my chops all the time. She says, you have more merch than I. So, but again, it's about helping Dave. What you just said, I think the groundwork was already laid out by Nichole, because she's reaching out to Rae and other families who are going through it, and she's and that's a noble thing. I really love that she's doing that, and
it's a huge help. It really, because these families have nobody else to, I don't have that story. I can say that I feel sorry, and this is what I can contribute. But the thing is that when I've never walked in any one of your shoes, I can't sit there and even fathom what it would be like. But you can hit on that level with that individual, and you can kind of go through the process and the emotions that you're going to go through.
Y'all are super strong, and you can see it with all three of you. Y'all are strong. Y'all are very strong. And like I said earlier, big, huge hugs to y'all, because it's hard, and y'all are the true heroes and angels here.
Yeah, and as I said before, I mean, it would be very easy for people to withdraw in your situations and shut the world off. And you haven't done that. You went the opposite direction. And that says volumes about who you are.
Hey, that brings me over to the next point. Rocky and Casey. I mean, I know, Rocky, you talk to me regularly, and you're talking to Dave and Twila. You want to continue to do searching for the missing going forward, right? So the bottom line is you guys want to continue in Naomi's name, is searching for the missing and helping other families. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about your plans and what you guys are looking to do in the future? I mean, I know you're still, mourning the loss of your sister, but any thoughts or ideas of what you and Rocky kicking around over there in Fernley?
Well, Rocky and I have been talking a lot about what we can do, and number one thing for us right now is to get trained up and working with EquuSearch a bit, and just trying to kind of figure out where we fit in on all this still a little bit. Maybe Rocky has a little bit more to say about it.
Well, I think the loss of my dad was a starter for me, and helping Casey and knowing the emotions that he's going to go through and he's been through, and just the fact that I can be his rock and kind of guide him through the emotions that I've already been through is huge. And I think we want to start something huge on the West Coast, and maybe I mean, we won't match, but we'll probably do the best we can to start our own West Coast type search over here. Because what helped me heal a lot with my dad is being able to help Casey, and I know that it's going to heal him a lot to help other people too. So I think it's good for us all the way around. But the sky's the limit, right? So I mean, don't let anybody hold you back.
Absolutely,
We're
absolutely.
gonna do everything we can to help anybody else going through anything like this. So
Amen to that, brothers. And Rocky, I mean, your story about your dad is definitely moving, and I know that was one of the motivating factors for you to come out and try to do something positive here with Naomi. And you kind of felt a little bit like Dad was giving you the push, so he's proudly looking down on you and saying, hey, I'm proud of you, son. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud to call you a friend. And I think that what you are standing for, I encourage everyone that watches this replay and that's listening to this to volunteer for your local fire departments, volunteer for your senior centers, volunteer for local search groups, and get yourself involved, because there's no better joy than when you volunteer your time.
And just think, like, for anybody that's even thinking about volunteering, it doesn't really matter how big of a thing you think it is, or it could be the most minute thing to you, but to these guys, I mean, it's everything to these guys.
Absolutely.
And it means way more than you'll ever imagine.
Yeah. And like I told Rocky on the phone when we've talked, there's one time I was about ready to cry with him on the phone, but like I told Rocky, don't give up. Don't give up. There's a reason why you were put in this path to start this journey, and the sky is a limit. And these people that's on this screen with us, they deserve us and so much more. And like I told you on the phone, don't give up, because you got it in you. You made that first step, and you're gonna go very far. And we're gonna be right here with you to watch you every step of the way and help you with anything we possibly can.
Thank you. We're going to go far.
Yeah. And we probably need to talk to Nichole, since she just got all her 501 stuff done. We're working on.
Yes, it's amazing that when you turn your pain into purpose.
Yeah, I don't even. It's hard to know even where to start with this stuff.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but definitely.
Let's talk after this.
We will.
With the ladies, with your permission, I will share with Casey and Rocky your numbers. And again, you guys can have conversations. We're all going to be here for each other. And if there's anything that I can ever do with myself and Ed Wallace, Dave Rader, Twila Cisco, for any of you guys, if you have other cases that are near and dear to you or that you are watching or following, all you have to do is just text us, and I will get the wheels in motion, get it off to Dave and Twila, and we'll, whatever we can do. And I mean, I think that we can really make a difference and get other people to get involved. And it really, there's no better joy and no better, free payback than volunteering your time. And it's an actual really good feeling. And I encourage everybody to at least look at that avenue. And some of the folks say to me, Ron, I'm disabled, I can't do anything. Well, you can help share flyers and do things digitally online. So if you cannot get out and do the physical searching, you can help create flyers. You can help to spread word on your social media. You can create groups to help find the missing. And there's so much that you could do remotely.
If you can answer a phone, you can answer a phone. There's domestic victims hotlines. There are suicide prevention hotlines. There's all kinds of organizations that are out there. Find something that you are passionate about and get involved.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead, Rae.
No, it's just so important. Yes, like he was saying, there's so many ways. Even if you're disabled, you can. Social media made such a huge impact just in our case and Gabby's case and so many. That right there, the opening of your phone right there can open so many possibilities to help anyone, many victims, people in need.
Yeah, social media played such a huge role.
Yep. If you can scroll on social media, you can volunteer. So
there you go. Correct. And, Nichole, with Gabby's story, I can say this: I've been around YouTube for 5 years now, going on 5 years. I don't think I've seen a story spread that far and wide, and that many people engaging in it, which is a great thing. But we need to figure out a way to do that for everybody.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yep, and that's what we heard.
I want everybody to have the same opportunity. So.
Right. We heard Joe talk about that in the attorney's office. He turned to all the cameras and all the media and said, when they asked him that question, he said, "It's up to you guys. We don't hold that card. You guys make that decision." So some things have to change, and we need to be able to, advocate, be the advocate for the missing and for the families who need that mouthpiece and need to have their stories put out so their loved one too can get the same amount of recognition.
I feel like it is changing a little bit. Yes, that's right, Rocky. It only takes one person to share. The night I found out Gabby's dad was in Florida, all I did was create a page and I shared it with my friends on Facebook. And 2 days later I was on the news. So it's you just got to put it out there. You just have to keep going. I don't know why Gabby's case got so big. Maybe it was an eye-opener for everybody to do this more. I don't know.
Yeah.
And DutyRon, you're the difference maker here. You're the one that's making the difference. You're bringing all of us together with positive, true, accurate information, and you share and you share and you share. So you're the hero here too, because you're the difference maker that's bringing everybody together to get the ball rolling with many, many, many different things. So kudos to you, and I'm forever grateful that you're a part of EquuSearch and these families here. I know you've lived it, breathed it, and everything for a while now because we talked to you about it. So you're the difference maker here also.
Yeah. I think if we all come together, all of us that have gone through this, we can make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
We want to be a resource for you, Nichole, and then Rae, whatever you decide to do, if there's anything that we can do to help you guys or another family, all you have to do is pick up the phone and let us know. And if I don't have it, I'll go get it. Rocky, you already know we've been talking quite a few times as far as, I'm always going to be in your corner. And as far as if there's anything that you need to run by me, We're all on this rock together. So let's make a difference and just look at from all the different aspects. Rae, you're in Florida. Twila, you're in Tennessee. Nichole, I think you're up in Jersey, I think.
Long Island.
Long Island. Jeez, I apologize.
That's okay.
Then we got the West Coast. So, we have all of, we just need to connect all the dots in between and have resources. And I'll tell you, there's strength in numbers. I've said it, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face or until I take my last breath. We can make a difference. We can all leave our footprint here for the positive.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen to that. All right, guys, we're at over an hour. I don't like to let these things go further over an hour. I want to just say thank you to Casey, Rocky, Nichole, Rae, Dave, and Twila for joining Ed and I here on Crime Time with DutyRon. It's an absolute honor to have you guys, and I hope that you will consider coming back again sometime soon to talk about your various foundations. And I would be honored to be able to fundraise for any of you all here. I'll give it my best, shot to do what I can through using my platform here on YouTube, and rallying the troops around you guys to support your great causes, because I love and respect each and every one of you guys tremendously. I would do anything for you guys. So please keep that in your pocket. It's not an empty gesture. I mean it. So I think Nichole and Rae and Twila and some of the folks who know me, Rocky now, you guys know that I'm just not talking shit here. I'm talking
100%.
Yes, absolutely. And please give these ladies and him up here. I can't see him for some reason, but he knows what I'm talking about. Please give them my phone number too, because I'm a talker and I'd love to talk to you ladies, even if you just need to vent, or even up here with Rocky. I'll listen. You can ask Rocky. We've talked multiple times, and I'll do absolutely anything with me, my director, our organization, whatever y'all may need. I'm right here for you.
Thank you.
We're in that same boat. We offer that same assistance. Anything that we can do, vent, cry, be mad, yell at us, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Let me say something here too. It's important that we acknowledge the live chatters. There's hundreds of people here. I want to say thank you to everyone here who has supported these families by posting their stories on social media, by respectfully speaking about their loved ones, by being great parts of this community. The replay viewers, we love you, we respect you, and we thank you, because without you guys, we would have nothing. So I want to acknowledge you guys. I tip my cap to you. You guys are this is one of the best communities on YouTube. And I'm
Love you guys.
Thank you.
You guys make this happen, 100%.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and the Schmidt Petito family, the Carli family, and Casey, and all of the folks in Fernley, Nevada, we send you peace, strength, prayers, and positive vibes. As I like to end all of these, God bless the world, God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all the victims and their families. We pray and send them strength. Peace from New York, and thank you guys for all joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, folks.
Good night.
God bless.